Hi, this video is going to show you how you can set up a Google Meet from within your Google Classroom, and it's also going to show you some of the options that you have available for disabling a link for the Google Meet, as well as some presenting options. So you can see that I'm already signed into Google Classroom here. I'm going to go ahead and click on my class card to enter the class. And we'll notice that when you first set up your class, if you haven't done so already, you have the option to generate a Meet link. So I'm going to click on it, and then you'll see you have the option again that you have to click on it. I'm going to press generate a Meet link. And what this is doing is it's creating a Google Meet that is specific for your classroom. So it gives it kind of like a nickname or a class code. And by default, it makes this link visible to students. So I'm going to turn that off right now because I don't want the link visible to students, and I want to show you what that looks like. But then I'm going to be sure to click Save. So when I do that, on the class card, we can see that we have a Meet link that is associated with Google Meet, and it's linked up to my Google Classroom. Right now, there's a little I with a strike through. That means that it is not visible to students, so they cannot see this Google Meet link when they go into the Google Classroom. So let's say I'm ready to do some synchronous teaching to my students or with my students, and I am meeting them via Google Meet. What I want to do is I want to direct them to this section of the Google Classroom, and then what they'll be able to do is they'll be able to click on this Meet link when it's visible to them, and they'll be able to enter the Google Meet. When you're ready to set up your Google Meet and have your students join you, you'll have to direct them to this section of the Google Classroom. You'll have to make the link visible to them, and then they'll simply just click on this link and they'll enter the Google Meet, and that's the same Google Meet that you'll be in. So when you're ready to do that, we go up to the top right corner, the little settings cog, click on it. And then as we scroll down, we can see that we have some Google Meet options here. So visible to students, here's our toggle. I'm going to turn it on. And anytime you make a change in the settings, you have to be sure to click Save. So I'm going to click on Save. And we can see that this link will be live and it's ready for students to click on and enter. So when I click on the Meet link, it's going to take me into the Meet. I'm just going to make sure my camera is turned off. And when you're ready to join, you just click Join Now. And so we get this little kind of copy code. That's your nickname for the classroom. Students will see this too, so they do have the option to copy the joining information. So it's just keep that in mind because I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on. But as students start to join, we do have our People tab up here where we'll be able to see everybody that enters our class. So we'll see all the students. We also have our chat pod here. And we exit out of this sidebar by clicking the little X. And we can go back in by clicking the chat pod. So just a little quick kind of best practice message about the chat pod. We found it to be best to kind of give the disclaimer to students ahead of time about the chat pod, just letting them know that although we're meeting online and we're meeting via Google Meet, it is still school, it is still an RCDSB event, and the RCDSB Code of Conduct applies. I would tell students that the chat pod is for questions and comments pertaining only to the teaching and the material that's being presented or that the class is about, and just kind of giving them that reminder so they know to stay on topic and to stay on task in the chat pod, because there are times when the students get in and they want to say hi to each other, and then they start talking about other things, and it can clog up the chat pod, and it is possible to miss questions from students that do pertain to the course. So just making sure that they know that things should be kind of on task in this section. So when you have all your students in, they can see you, you can see them, and let's say you want to present something to the students. So it's possible you have a slideshow you want to show them, it's possible you have a video you want to show them, or it's possible you have another program on your computer, such as Smart Notebook, that you want them to see. So that's where we're going to click this little Present Now button. When you click on it, you have three options. So the very first option is to present your entire screen. So that's going to do just that. Everything you see, the students will be able to see. So when I click on it, you have to choose which screen you want to share. I only have one, so I'm clicking on this one, and then I'm going to click share. So now everything I have pulled up, the students will see. They will be able to see this. If I click over to my Google Classroom, they will be able to see this. If I click over to my Drive, they will be able to see this. If I click into an external window, such as this here, a bridge design software, they will be able to see this. They'll also be able to see this in the background. They'll be able to see everything I can see. To stop sharing your screen, there are two things you can do. I can click on this little button here, or I can go back to the Google Meet tab and I can click Stop Presenting here. Okay. The second option is to present just a specific window. So this is great if you have something like, let's say, Smart Notebook that you want to present to your students. So I'm going to choose a window. And I don't have Smart Notebook pulled up, but I do have this Bridge Designer software. So it's an external software, just like Smart Notebook is. I'll choose to present it, and I'll click Share. So right now, the only thing that students will be able to see is this Bridge Design software. If I click over here, they cannot see this. They're still seeing the Bridge software. If I click here, still seeing the Bridge software, because I've chose to present a specific window, which is this window here. So this comes in handy. If you want to still see your students, you can pull up your Google Meet window, and you can choose to kind of reorganize that or make it smaller. And then if you're working out a Smart Notebook, you can kind of choose to reorganize your Smart Notebook or your other window so that you can kind of see both going on at the same time. With ThinkPads, it's super simple to split the screen. You just grab the window and drag it over to the edge and let go. It'll populate to half the screen, and then you do the same thing with this one and it will split the screen for you. So very handy feature if you want to see your students but also present out of another window. So that's how that works. I'm going to stop presenting. The last choice is a Chrome tab. So let's say you have YouTube pulled up and you want to present a specific, or you want to present a video or some sort of audio file to students. That's where you're going to choose a Chrome tab. You can see that it even says best for video and animation. That is because when you choose to present a specific tab, that tab's audio and video takes over the Google Meet. So this way, students will be able to hear the YouTube video through their computer speakers and not the audio that's being picked up from your microphone. So a Chrome tab is the best option for video and audio. And all that you would do is you would have your video popped up in another tab, and you would choose a Chrome tab. Then all your tabs are listed. You would choose which one you want to present. So if it was a YouTube video, the YouTube tab would be shown here. And then again, you just click share. And you can stop presenting from right within the tab. Okay, so the class is over. It's time to end the Google Meet. The best practice is to make sure all the students leave first and that you're the last person to leave the Google Meet. So once students have all left, you can see who's all in the room up here in the People tab. You would just click the little Leave Call Hang Up button, and you would be booted out of the Google Meet. Once you do that, the next best practice would be to reset this link. If you can recall, the Google Meet nickname popped up and students have the choice to copy that, and they can share that out, or they can enter the Google Meet after you leave if you don't reset this link. So the best practice would be to reset this link and turn the visibility off so that students can't see it. So we do that again by going into the settings cog. We scroll down to the Meet section. We click this little drop down and we reset the link, and then we make it so that it's not visible to students, and always making sure to click Save. Once you've done that, you're good to go. We can see that it's not visible to students. The next day comes, time to meet with the students again. We've reset the link yesterday, so no need to do it again. All we have to do is make sure that the link is visible to students. So when we're ready to enter the room, we go into the settings button and we scroll down to the Meet section, make it visible, click Save, and then click on the Meet link to go in to meet our students. So I hope this video showed you how to set up a Google Meet from within Google Classroom, as well as some of the different sharing settings and settings for resetting the link within Google Meet. Thanks for watching.